This episode is brought to you by Muntins Malts, a company that is passionate about providing premium malts to brewers worldwide. For over a century, Muntins has been a leading supplier of brewing and distilling malts, offering the finest British malted barley on the market. You can experience the difference Muntins offers by joining a recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club, because every kit that ships out now includes premium Muntins malt. You know, we've known the Muntins crew for a long time, and I can tell you, friend, you're going to love brewing with their grains. Ask your local supply shop to carry Muntins malts, or homebrewers can pick up some right now online at txbrewing.com. Join our Trub Club at homebrewhappyhour.com/club. Be a part of the community and come brew with us. Thank you, Muntins, for supporting our efforts and homebrewers worldwide. Today's show is brought to you by Hopsdirect.com. Grown in the esteemed Yakima Valley on the Pewterball family farm, Hopsdirect.com offers the widest variety of hops available online at incredibly competitive pricing. It's simple. They grow hops, they sell hops, and they ship hops straight from their family-owned farm to your doorstep. Producing the highest quality hops is Hopsdirect.com's passion, and they're proud to be an independent grower in the craft beer industry. Go to Hopsdirect.com right now and get what you need to make your brew day better. That's Hopsdirect.com. Today's show is brought to you by Imperial Yeast. You hear us gushing over Imperial Yeast all the time, and that's because their yeast performs for us in every batch that we brew. Imperial Yeast is adored by commercial breweries and home brewers alike. Their pitch-right pouches are jam-packed with over 200 billion fresh yeast cells, guaranteed to deliver flawless, fast fermentations every time. Imperial Yeast strains are grown by a team of pro brewers and home brewers who live to help other brewers learn more and ferment better. Join any recipe receiving tier of our Trub Club and get a free upgrade to premium Imperial Yeast with every recipe kit that ships out to you. Learn more at homebrewhappyhour.com/club and come brew with us.
Entertaining shows with content that spreads information and sparks discourse throughout the community. This is the Pearl Media Network.
Todd's opinions on the state of homebrewing, installing inline flow control into an existing draft system, and tips for going from extract to all-grain brewing. This is Homebrew Happy Hour, episode 427. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Homebrew Happy Hour. This is the show where we supply the answers to your homebrewing questions and discuss all things related to craft beer. And if you, my friends, have a question you'd like us to discuss on a future episode, you could go to homebrewhappyhour.com. You could email joshua@homebrewhappyhour.com. But even better, call it in to 325-305-6107. When I use your voicemail on a future episode, you get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. I am one of your hosts, Joshua Stubing, joined by the president and chief keg washer of kegconnection.com, Mr. Todd Burns. The director of operations at CM Becker always rolls off my tongue. James is not here. He never hangs out at the ranch with us. To be fair, we didn't invite him tonight.
I'm not the director of Keg Connection.
You're not. You're not. I said of Keg Connection LLC.
LLC.
Did I say .com?
Uh-huh.
I did say .com.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not anymore.
Nope.
You're not the president, or you are the chief keg washer. To be
I'm
fair.
still the chief. I will always be the chief
Yeah.
keg washer.
You're right. You're not.
I still wash the keg.
You're not the president of KegConnection.com, of Keg Connection LLC. Either way, though, yeah, we're recording before a trip to Chicago, and we could talk about that a little. Before I do, let me get through the small talk. I promise I'll be quick. Trub Club recipe for this month, my friends, a Kvite Smash IPA. Right now on the screen, you're seeing the artwork I did, or the artwork that ChatGPT and Midjourney did. Either way, I take credit. I did the artwork. It's a wonderfully popular recipe. You liked how it turned out, but we haven't done it since 2023. Going to bring it back. As the Kvite is one of those warmer, temperature-friendly yeast strains.
Right.
Even though I'm wearing what is it right now out here? Like 58, 60?
I don't know exactly.
It's kind of chilly. You don't do that while I keep doing small talk.
Well, he's chewing right in our sound area.
He's going to bit that and bring it back. It's not a big deal. These microphones, speaking of AI, I'll be able to get any noise out.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if I don't, whatever. Sorry. You can go to patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Join a recipe receiving tier. Get this delicious kit shipped out to you. Thank you to our sponsors, Muntins Malt, hopstrat.com, and of course, Imperial Yeast. These kits would not be premium without premium ingredients. So thank you to our sponsors, and thank you to everyone at any level in the Chub Club. We appreciate your support. Again, patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. Kolsch Cup is coming up. This is your last call to register. We have had a lot of people sign up. The registration got extended by a week because I had some people on April 2nd ask me, hey, can you open it up? And so I said, okay, I'm going to open it up and I'll do it through what's this Friday? Is this the 11th, right? Whatever Friday is, it's like the 11th. So this is your last call. Go to kolschcup.com or just go to homebrewhappyhour.com. Click on Kolsch Cup at the top of the page. It's the same landing page. And all the rules, all the details are there. If you have not brewed your Kolsch for our competition, which is going to be on May either the 29th or the 30th, you're really pushing it.
You still have time, though. It's Kolsch. You can finish it pretty quick.
Yeah, but not the perfect Kolsch.
Oh, no, not me. It takes me 3 or 4 months because I condition it in the...
for a long time.
Yeah.
But it's not too late if you want to see if you...
But if you're going to do that newfangled thing that y'all do...
Pressure fermentation.
Yeah.
It's not going to be clear. Yeah, I mean, you got a cold... Time is a Kolsch's best friend in a fridge because of the clarity.
Right.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. And then Brew Day Live. We're back April 25th at 10 a.m. Central. Join my pop and I as we brew that aforementioned Kvike Smash IPA. We'll be doing it at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour. And that's free to everybody. You don't have to be in the Chub Club for that, but you should be. It'd be a lot cooler if you were. Todd, that is actually all the small talk that I have.
I can add on to your infomercial a little bit.
Add on to it.
We're thinking about doing a brew day or
you're jumping
brew
ahead.
weekend.
Oh, you're jumping ahead.
What?
The second question is when I was going to bring that up. Let me bring. Let me bring it up. But
look at the view.
Yeah, you're right. We are, before we get into the show proper, this is not the normal studio.
He thinks I read the show notes.
Oh, you didn't? I emailed them to you. Okay. All right, segmenting to a different stage of small talk. First off, Mr. Burns, what are we drinking?
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. What is this?
This is a dark Czech Pils.
Ooh, that's so good.
Was
that a James Carlson?
It's Flecku.
Yeah, Flecku.
Yeah. So
James brewed it?
Mm-hmm.
That turned out really good.
And we just had a light Czech Pils, which he brewed, and was also very good.
Very good.
2 very good beers in a row. He's not on today, so we can compliment him. Hopefully he won't find out about
hopefully he'll never find out.
It's great.
He doesn't watch it,
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch it. James, give a thumbs down on the video if you're watching. That's how I'll know. Oh, it was James. That is seriously really good.
Yeah.
The Pils was great too, but that's exceptional.
Really, I've already finished half of mine.
Very balanced. That's incredible. And yes, if you're watching at youtube.com/homebrew happy hour, we are at sunset at the Burns Sunrise Ranch.
Sunrise Barn.
Sunrise Barn. Thank you.
It's a Colonel Burns Ranch.
Yeah, Colonel Burns Ranch. Yeah. This is the Sunrise Barn. Go to Airbnb, find it. You can stay here. But yeah, I'll talk about the thing that you're about to drop. But if you're not watching, just know that it is probably one of the better places you could be for a sunset. Like, it's hard to beat the sunsets out here.
Oh, the sunrise from here is better, and the sun sets better.
Good point. Here. Yeah. Is that Salt Creek Mountain?
Yeah, that's where the sunrise is over there.
What do they call it?
Salt Creek Mountain.
Salt Creek Mountain, which is a hill. the sun coming up over it. You could always go to my Instagram or Homebrew Happy Hours and see. I always post photos from there because it is beautiful. Before we get into the show, let's play it's time for listener feedback. Because I do have some listener feedback right now. Todd, a YouTuber named Common Era Brews had said, from a couple weeks back. I know this episode is old now, but y'all missed a big point on kegerator balancing. The guy was in Denver. At that altitude, you do need longer lines. 10-foot lines are pretty standard in Denver. Push them away. Altitude is one factor we did not touch on in regards to, you don't.
10 foot? That seems.
It's a mile-high city.
I know, but that's 10 feet.
It's
that's
a mile-high.
Lot of restriction.
It's a mile-high city. Where, dude, he has an ear infection.
Oh, no.
This is going to be the veterinarian happy hour here soon. I don't know, obviously, the calculations, but I would suspect it's vastly different from us, relatively near sea level, compared to someone a mile high in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, we could look it up and find out exactly what the restriction difference is.
Yeah, you should. Would it be in the draft manual? Where would it be?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's all over. It'd be easy to find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll follow up with that. But it is, I thought it was worth bringing on because.
You want me to look it up right now? That's what I usually do on the show.
No, please. Yeah, you don't have your laptop in front of you right now you and James both, y'all think y'all are so sneaky when y'all like, well, actually, my opinions are.
Oh, and I'm not actually looking up anything about the show. I'm usually answering an email or something.
Y'all are the worst. But yeah, common era. I agree that there are factors that we may not have touched on, and not to say 10 might still be.
I don't remember answering this question.
You were on the show. It was a month ago at this point.
Oh,
maybe even 5 weeks ago. And the guy was asking about balancing his kegerator, and he was in Denver. I don't think the guy who wrote the question mentioned anything about, or maybe it was a voicemail. I don't think they mentioned anything about altitude, but they are from Denver. And so
we've decided recently that we're going to put on systemsforkegconnection.com, which we still do a lot of fulfillment for. We're going to start doing 6 foot of hose as kind of a compromise.
Okay.
Yeah. We talked about that with Cody a while back.
I would say we did.
Yeah. So we have decided to go with the 6 foot.
January of 24 is when it got planted in your ear.
Yeah.
Because Cody was like, 6 foot's probably the safest bet for a universal.
It's a little overkill, but it'll work.
In Texas, it's overkill, but maybe in Colorado, it's perfect.
Well, that's 2 different subjects. Okay. But yeah.
I will die on this hill that I don't even know what I'm standing on. It makes you annoyed, and I am standing on it. Anyways, Common Era Brews, thank you. Guys, when y'all leave great feedback in the comments, I'm going to steal it. I think I told you I was going to steal it. But you can always also call it into our hotline at 325-305-6107. And if the voicemail is good enough, I play it on a future episode. Get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. We do have questions. Boom. That was the gong of questions that we both just heard for real in real life. We have, I wanted to start it with a follow-up. Whenever I did that episode a couple weeks ago that you had to bail out last minute, there was a question. He's fine. Yeah, I promise. Well, I'll get the sound out, even though he is a bad dog.
Go on.
And
no.
And nobody loves him. We took a question, and I'm going to reread it.
So that's really funny, though, I have to say. The pug sits there and whines and barks for me to throw the stick for the lab.
Yeah. He doesn't. He
won't go chase it. He just wants me to throw it for the lab.
It is hilarious. And when he throws it, all the pug does is.
Yeah.
Smartest breed on the planet, pugs are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to reread the question because you originally you did read that PDF because you wrote me and said, that first one's great. I got a lot to say about it. So I wanted to, having you on, reflect on that. Okay. So Seth had wrote in and said, Josh, your friend Trent just published a great conversation starter on his YouTube. The topic is about homebrewing being dead, or at least very much in the dying process. What does the Homebrew Happy Hour gang think about the state of homebrewing? What do you think could be done by companies or by individuals to help bring the hobby back to life? It's a really good video, and I encourage others to go watch it too. Okay, you guys have a great week. And you didn't get a chance to say your input. The state of homebrewing, what are your opinions on it? Hey, Brady, go away, dude. Go away.
Well, so, I mean, it's definitely declined a lot in how many people are homebrewing.
Yeah.
We've seen that. I think we've all seen our local homebrew shops are going out of business more and more. A lot of them are gone.
Gone.
I was in Phoenix a few weeks ago, and I drove by a homebrew shop, and I was like, wow, look, a brick and mortar homebrew shop. This is incredible.
A relic. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and, we struggled in the market. And I think the thing that was the hardest for us was really the combination of the free or greatly reduced shipping prices are not real. I mean, we still have to pay $20 to ship a keg
On the low end.
So on the low end. So if we sell it if we say it's $9.95 shipping, it's still costing $20, and you can't just not make that money.
Yeah.
So you have to add that back in, which makes it difficult, because with competition you can't always do that. I will say this: when you do buy some things online from some of the people that are still hanging on, in particular, I would mention More Beer, because it's a family-run business.
Yep, independent.
Good people there. When I look at what they're selling stuff for with the shipping that they're charging, it's a bargain. I mean, they're paying a lot for shipping. They're paying a lot for everything, and they're not making a lot of margin. Nobody's making a lot of margin.
No.
The brick and mortar stores were able to make a more decent margin in the past, because basically people came in, they didn't have to pay for shipping. It really helped.
Well,
but then just so much competition came up that it eroded that profit. There's very little profit. We have another dog. And that's hurt the industry as far as people selling the stuff.
Absolutely.
And one of the things I think that happened with the brick and mortar stores going away to some extent in a lot of communities is they were teaching people how to homebrew. They were keeping that going and getting people into the hobby, and that's gone away. And then I think the other thing that's happened very much so is that you can just kind of get any kind of beer you want anywhere now.
Yeah.
So people that used to homebrew for variety, they don't really have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But for me, what I would say is there's something wonderful about drinking homebrewed beer that you've made or your friends made and tasting it and saying, this is as good or better than what I could buy in the store, what I could get at a brewery, because you can create such good quality homebrew now.
Absolutely.
When I started homebrewing a lot of years ago, it was
fire was invented, then the wheel, then Todd started homebrewing. Yeah.
I was probably about 16. I probably shouldn't have been homebrewing then, but so the beer a lot of times wasn't very good. I mean, we just didn't have the ingredients. We didn't have the equipment. It was difficult, and you had a lot of off tastes and everything. Now it's just amazing to me how we can brew a beer time after time after time, and it's so good.
Yeah.
And it's very rewarding to me to brew my own beer and serve my own beer to people. And I hope that people will begin to realize that more and more, and the hobby will start to go up again. I don't have much of a vested interest in that anymore. Other than the fact that I love the hobby, and I love the people that are in it.
Yeah.
And I think that it will start to come back, but I think it is very down right now.
I said something to James to the effect of, like, even if homebrewing died, as in like it lost all mainstream appeal, I'm personally okay with it because I'd still enjoy brewing. And someone had emailed, or maybe it was an Instagram message, I think it was an email, scathing of like, must be nice to not care about other people. And no, I just want to clarify, sir, Dragonfly Lady 245, whatever, reincarnate. I just want to say, what I'm saying is do what you enjoy. Like, I don't want, if homebrewing dies, the worst thing is the brands that I support and love and the shops I love and support might go away. And that would be a detriment. What I mean, though, is that I'm going to keep doing it because I enjoy it.
Right.
That's all I meant. Not, it could crash and burn. No one cares.
The problem is that it could be very hard to get ingredients.
No, that's what I'm exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Of course, I wasn't acting like the success of mainstream appeal of homebrewing doesn't affect me as much as I'm gonna homebrew. I'm gonna find a way, and things getting more expensive might be a possibility, and that would be a bummer. But I'm probably still going to homebrew.
Well, and the Homebrewers Association has now, as we've talked about before, is broken away.
Yeah, they're independent
from the Brewers Association, which is ironic.
So funny.
Is it ironic?
Yeah,
is it irony?
Like rain on your wedding day.
Yeah, that they originally started it.
Yes,
and now they're breaking away from it. But I hope that will be successful. I think in some ways they kind of got away from their core group of people that like to homebrew and maybe tried to do too much. And I'm glad that they're going to focus back in on that core group and try to expand the homebrewing.
And I've had this theory. To be fair, I'm dumb. Let's just start with that. Let's start with that preface. I told my wife 3 or 4 years ago, it was like a couple years after COVID, like lockdowns were done. And I had just noticed in my area of San Marcos, the yearning for hyper localism. And I was like, this is where I was saying I'm dumb. I was like, I bet you by 2030, I could start a video rental store and it would be popular because the hipsters in San Marcos, I was like, but then I did tiny bit of market research. No Zoomer, no Gen Zs own DVD players.
Right.
They either buy the thing digitally or they just stream it from every platform that they subscribe to. I have to have people buying DVD players for my premise to work.
Yeah.
Or maybe VHS.
What if you just loan them one with
the rental?
I think we have a business.
What this shows.
Now, listen, when I say we have a business plan, that doesn't mean we don't have a bad business plan.
Yeah, that's right.
We've been associated with those in the past.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. This is us just hashing out bad business plans now.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, for homebrewing, maybe it is a return to hyperlocalism where some markets, you would think Austin would be one.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't seem to. We only have one supply shop and it seems like they're hurting. Shout out SoCo. Not shout out because you're hurting, but go support them if you're in Austin.
Yep.
And I always forget the new one in San Antonio, that Homebrew Party is what failed and then became whatever they're called now. Only one shop in San Antonio.
Yeah.
These are markets you think would support.
Yeah, but when I started Keg Connection, there was only one shop in Austin and there was only one shop in San Antonio. So
who was the shop in Austin?
Austin Homebrew Supply.
Austin Homebrew. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they're famous. When they crashed and burned, they got bought out, which was expected. And when that venture capitalist or whatever kind of ran them into the ground, is when I really was like, oh crap, we're in trouble. Like the industry, because they were a staple to online and in person.
They had one of their big issues too was they started a brewery and they funneled a lot of the money away.
What's
I think from it.
Forrest.
Well, we don't,
yeah. No, nice guy. I'm just saying though, you're right though. It became the focus.
Yeah, and
got off track.
It was hard because the brewery business was about as tough as the homebrew business. So
absolutely.
Yeah. But I do believe that everything is in a cycle.
Yep.
And I think that homebrewing will start to grow again, and we'll see that in the future.
It'll rise again. And y'all are all going to come to my VHS rental shop and Homebrew Supply.
Yep. VHS and Homebrew Supply.
And Homebrew Supply. 2028.
San Marcos.
2028 is my year. Anyways, Seth, again, I'm not giving you more gift cards. Apologize for that. But thank you for submitting the question and saying that again so that we can address it with Todd, because I know this has been your industry for 20 years.
Yeah, I think about it all the time. I mean, I really do. I miss a lot of what we did, but we're still in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're still doing what we like.
We're literally in the industry, not just industry adjacent. We're still very much in it. In fact, that's why we're recording this on a Monday. We're going to Chicago. Going to go visit Dovetail and Beer Mistuous. I was trying to think of both at the same time.
Yep.
One's a bottle shop and one's a very, very, I think they're award-winning brewery, a very well-established
excellent brewery. I've been there multiple times, and I think we're going to really enjoy it.
And then I found online they're using the V20 from CM Becker. Spoiler, not the most popular seller of our faucets, and they're using it in this
because it's not flow control.
Because it's not flow control, but they're using it for this wet pour style that you'd usually see from a Luker. but I think they realize.
It's very popular in Japan. It's very popular in the Czech Republic.
But I mean, but a lot of breweries are realizing, one, Luther's, not knocking them, but I mean, I have obviously.
Well, no, they're great company.
They're a great company. They're very expensive.
And also a lot of their faucets are not really being used
the
proper way. So
they would tell you.
They actually, the people at Lucre, when I've talked to them, they love the idea of the wet pour. They're not crazy about the slow pour. And the reason for that is a slow pour, it starts with foam and you fill up the glass very, very slowly. The problem with that is you get some oxidation taste that happen because of the way you're pouring. So we're very excited to see how people do this wet pour, which is going to be different.
We're going to be filming there. Ideally, we're going to be doing the podcast there. It's not a, what do you call it? Like shoot from the hip sort of trip. But like, I mean, we are planned out. I'm just saying, I don't want to make promises like we're going to have 10 videos with them. No, we're for sure doing showcase videos for the CM Becker YouTube page.
Right.
And I've got them both committed to doing a podcast episode. Yep. Hayden is the only one. I don't know how much time he will actually have because it'll depend on how long the CM Becker stuff takes.
Right.
Either way, we're very excited. Hit that gong. Moving on. Question number 2. An email from our buddy Wesley R. And he wrote to the infamous Homebrew Happy Hour guys. Lots of love from Waco. If you ever host a meetup or a brew day live that fans can attend, please let me know. I would love to raise a glass with you fellas. Go ahead.
I'm joking with you.
I would love to raise a glass with you fellas. I do also have a question for you. If I install those inline flow control thingies, are they intended to be set and forget, or will I need to open my kegerator from time to time and make adjustments? My kegerator tower cannot accommodate those proprietary shanks for the V10s that I want, so this is the next best option, I think. Thank you for taking my question, and thank you for always keeping me entertained. Prost. The reason I stopped you earlier, we'll say it now at this part. He started by saying, if you ever host like a meetup or a brew day live, and that got me thinking, this question's been in the inbox for not terribly long. Todd at the beautiful Colonel Burns Ranch here at the Sunrise Barn this is on Airbnb and VRBO now. And I say Verbo. You always spell it out. You say VRBO. Is it not Verbo?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, Verbo.
It's Verbo, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You just got me second guessing myself because you always say VRBO.
Yeah, I like to say VRBO.
You do.
Yeah.
But it's on there. People can already stay here. But I had pitched to him, dude, the first time I pitched it had to be 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I was calling it either Brew Camp or Ultimate Brew Day. I forgot what I was calling it. But the premise was hosting, you can comfortably fit 4 individuals in here or 2 couples and 2 individuals.
Yeah.
And doing a Friday through Sunday brewing experience that they come here on a Friday after like 2 or 3 p.m. whenever they get here. We entertain them, all that. All day Saturday, we're brewing with them and hanging out. If it's a warm month, we'll be at the pool. If it's a cold month, we're lighting up the fire pit, not burning down the property.
I probably would make some kind of barbecue.
Yeah, I was going to say, cooking all the food included, my
wife's beans.
All the booze included, the greatest food and beans, everything. And then Sunday, you get out of here, and we've been mulling it around.
We'll be ready for them to leave on Sunday, won't we?
They'd be ready to leave us. If people think this is a shtick, the way I act, this is who I really am.
Right, absolutely.
You ask my wife, too. People, I post just stupid things when I'm sitting on the toilet scrolling through Facebook is when I'm most inspired.
Yeah.
And people ask my wife, what is he really like? And she goes, that's what
that's him.
That is what he's really like.
He's really that annoying.
He is really that insufferable. But no, I wanted to say that at the top of this question because I think we should try it.
We should do it.
Or at least get feedback.
Well, if anybody's interested in doing that, let us know and we'll put it together. I think it'd be a blast to brew with some of you guys and come out here and eat some barbecue, drink some beer. I think it'd be a fun time.
I think it would be a great fun time. So yeah, Wes, we have not had any official meetups. We did a soft one in San Diego when we got there with people at HomebrewCon. Remember, we ran into a bunch of people.
Where is he?
He's in Waco. So that would be...
Oh, yeah.
What is Waco?
We could do that.
What is Waco from here? An hour and a half?
Yeah.
Wes, you're going to be, you sign up number 1. You be in my inbox tomorrow. Let me know if you'd be willing to do it. But moving on to his actual question, inline flow controls. I have only really used them for water, which you would not notice a need to adjust per se,
Right.
because you're not temperature fluctuations not causing water to foam and stuff like that. In your anecdotal and or professional experience, are they mostly set and forget, or is it very circumstantial?
They're mostly set and forget, but the whole reason to have one is they're not only set and forget. If you've got a beer that's higher carbonation, let's say you brew a Belgium and it should be served at a higher PSI, you can add more restriction and you'll need more restriction. If you brew a beer that's lower carbonation, you can set it lower. If you accidentally overcarbonate your beer, if you happen to freeze your kegs and overcarbonate your beer, or do one of the many, many stupid ass things we have done over the years, and need to adjust, then you have that adjustment. Temperature's a big one. You know, if you've got a Keyser and it takes a day to equalize and you get it a little bit warm, then you can go in there and adjust that and serve good beer on the fly. So yeah, I mean, it's set and forget for the most part, but you have the flexibility to change your restriction without having to take your lines off and put new line on.
Now, I've only seen the inline flow controls with an Allen wrench adjuster. Do any of them
can make them with a...
Do they come with the actual lever on it?
Okay. Either way.
Because if on our X1s, I rarely have to adjust them, but we hardly never open the door, which I would think temperature fluctuation would be the most common culprit of, oh gosh, I got to dial it down a little. It's getting too foamy where I set it last. I would think that's why that makes these set and forget, if you're not perpetually causing a factor that
So the reason we use the Allen wrench on them for the most part is bars that buy them a lot of times are adjusting for something specific, and they only want like the manager to be able to change it.
Oh.
They don't want every person that works in the bar to be messing with them all the time.
I knew that because we have a
But we can do it either way.
We have versions of the V10s, probably the X1s too, because
definitely the X1s,
but where they are Allen wrench for that reason, so that bartenders don't accidentally on the fly mess with it when it's dialed in to where it needs to be.
Yeah. So every Twin Peaks in the United States uses X1s.
I'm sorry. What is this establishment? I've never heard
most of them. Most of them. I've gone to many of them with my wife because we have to go see our faucets. And anyway, so every one of them has an X1. A lot of them are the plastic ones because that's what they use for years and years.
Yeah.
And then we recently, maybe 2 years ago, developed a stainless steel version.
Beautiful, yeah.
It's exactly the same faucet, but it's stainless steel. And they all of those, every single one of them use an Allen wrench.
Okay.
And they always have, because they want their manager to have the ability to adjust it, but not every bartender.
What's the gimmick? Is it like 24 degrees, 28 degrees?
28 degrees is the Blizzard system. So, I mean, that typically...
I say gimmick, that sounded bad. I'm saying their whole thing is serving beer at this temperature.
Yeah, and it is an amazing system. They put it on the roof, and they can have one in Arizona. It can be 110 degrees, and it's so well engineered that it still will keep that beer at 28 degrees because the main unit is up on the roof usually.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it's overkill. I mean, it is a serious system.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, the reason they went with the Sam Becker ones was because it could handle that temperature consistently and have a good pour consistently.
Extremely good pour.
Yeah.
They won't use anything else. They love the faucets. They love the flow control aspect of it, but they in particularly love the X1. They like that model.
Buddy of ours, the one he sent us the military coins from duty, Josh W. I won't totally dots you. He messaged me not that long ago, sitting at a Twin Peaks. I wish I could say something good about the food, but those faucets are beautiful. Something like that.
That's awesome. I love it.
I said, yeah, man, thanks for making sure our faucets are working good. Y'all all have that excuse if you want to go to a Twin Peaks, like, honey, I'm in the industry. I got to check out those CM Becker faucets.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've literally never stepped foot in one. It's not a morality thing as much as I'm cheap. I've heard they're expensive.
I didn't notice them being expensive.
Okay. Well, that was the reason also.
No, they were. I mean, their beer wasn't expensive.
Their
food wasn't expensive.
Okay. You don't, unless you're out of town, you don't go out just to get beer. You're not going to a sports bar. I'm talking about Utah Burn.
Dude, they don't have a Twin Peaks in Brownwood.
Otherwise, you'd be there.
I'm just saying, it's definitely out of town.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, wrapping up your question, Wes. So an issue a lot of people have with those old cylinder towers, or standard, I won't even say old, they're very common still, is if they want to do a true flow control solution, they can't. They just won't fit. So
a single 3-inch tower will fit one, but a double or a triple.
That's what I mean.
So we always use a T tower.
Right. So that's where these inlines shine. You don't have to replace your faucet. So they're a lot more budget friendly. But it made me think, this whole episode is just a CM Becker infomercial now. Those new flow control shanks, would those fit in a tower or no? Because there's a new product.
Yeah, absolutely.
I only found out about it because I did the catalog design.
Yeah, they would fit in a tower. Yeah.
So there is an option. Are those going to be retail, or are those just commercial?
Yeah, we can make them retail.
I just mean, because wouldn't that also, if he wanted the ability to control, so these new flow control shanks they fit inside a normal drilled out shank hole.
Huh?
And have the flow control.
I like how you decide you're going to talk about something, and then you have to look at me to make sure.
Absolutely. Well, what else is the word for a shank hole? You're just like, oh, do you mean the coupling apparatus of? Anyway, they go in and it gives you true flow control, and then the control for the dial right there on the body. So if you need to make an adjustment, didn't want to open the door, get the Allen wrench or the lever and change it, it would be right there at the point of the body of the faucet, or the shank. That could be an option too. I don't know anything about the pricing, or are they comparable to the inlines? Or are they more expensive than the inlines?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I think they're comparable.
They're not going to be on the site by this time this publishes, but I'll do a follow-up when they are and put the link in description, because I'm just trying to give them as many options as possible. I mean, obviously, the other option, if you wanted flow control, is buy InterTap or something, but that's not true flow control. We had a video on that.
Right.
I was trying to give all the options possible.
Yeah, maybe we should do a video on that in the future on how to use those.
We really should.
And also, I think it's important. Shank hole is probably the right term, but I think you want to use that in context.
No, your favorite used to be when we talk about fermentation equipment, and bung hole was his favorite. And yeah. Oh yeah, so you put the bung in the hole, huh? Anyways, Wes, thank you so much for submitting that question. A final reminder, guys, call our hotline. I'm dying for more voicemails. I didn't take any on this one because I knew we'd be outside.
Right.
But we have some, but we could always use more. 325-305-6107. Get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Gong of the final question. It's an email from our buddy Harold B. And he wrote, "Hey, y'all, longtime extract brewer here. I've been brewing kits and partial mash recipes for a couple of years now, and I finally feel ready and excited to dive into all-grain brewing. I've picked up a cooler mash tun and a basic kettle setup. I'm planning my first batch soon. But before I jump in, I want to ask, what's something you wish you had known before making the switch to all grain? Whether it's about water chemistry, nope, mash temps, slaughtering issues, don't know the word, or even just time management on brew day, I'd love to hear your personal lessons learned. I want to avoid as many beginner mistakes as possible. Appreciate everything you guys do." Harold, first off, if you've been brewing a couple years, you're not a beginner anymore.
Nope.
I know he meant like into all grain, but brewing is brewing. And, he did, he did say he did partial mash. You have a great understanding already of the process. You're just now, instead of steeping, you're going to do a full-blown mash and a sparge. That would be the difference.
Yeah. And he asked, what about water chemistry? What about all these other things? Well, I don't know if you do water chemistry now. So if you're doing water chemistry now, then continue to do that. If you're not, maybe not try to throw everything in at one time, but try to keep that first brew simple. Do a simple recipe, do something that's going to be pretty straightforward, and learn the process through simplicity first, and then start to branch out into more complicated parts of brewing that, with that type of brewing. Is that the right
You know what
term?
doesn't get any simpler? A Kavite Smash IPA at patreon.com/homebrew happy hour. This is my infomercial episode.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick though, I want to say that was a good point I didn't think of. Harold, if you're already brewing good beer with the water, whatever you're doing for water now, you don't change that part of it at all.
Don't change it now. I mean,
No. I mean, that's not. I agree with what you're saying. Like, the fact that he asked about water chemistry, I think implies he's probably doing something.
Right.
That's not a common thing a person would worry about if they weren't. I mean, if they're already been brewing.
Yeah.
Because I just use straight RO water, no spice to it, and Todd uses the same spice every time. Or
I do different water chemistry for different types.
Oh, you do?
brews.
Oh, okay. I really didn't know that.
Yep.
I just assumed it was like, I do RO with this much gypsum, calcium carbonate, calcium chloride, and that's it.
Yeah.
But you make it per recipe. When you brew. When's the last time you brewed?
Well, it's easy if you don't brew.
Yeah. I would say too. What did he say? He picked up a cooler mash tun and basic kettle. That video that we talk about all the time is one of my favorites on our channel of our cooler brew system. Him and James were brewing. I was filming because it shows that was. Without exaggeration, one of the best batches of beer that you ever brewed.
It was good
compared to even what the delicious beers we've been enjoying already this year. But the cooler, that video just shows how good a beer you can make on the most straightforward of systems.
Right.
It doesn't have to be this electric pinpoint dialed in system. It doesn't have to be a glycol chiller. Actually,
I mean, the cooler system is very simple. I mean, you basically get it up to temperature. You put the water in, and it is what it is. I mean, you try to keep it as insulated as possible.
Yeah.
You could possibly warm it up a little bit by adding a little, but for the most part, we never did that.
Yep.
We hit the temperature we wanted, and we let it sit there for as long as we were doing it.
Yeah.
And it came out great.
And you fermented in buckets.
Yeah, we had very little temperature drop. There
was none.
Amazing.
It was a degree.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But say a couple, 3 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not going to make any difference.
Right.
I mean, if you're very careful and keep your mash at 152, having it go from 153 to 150 is not going to make it. In the big picture, you're not going to tell any difference.
Yep.
I mean, just don't worry so much about it. Just use the system, brew with it, and you're going to get a great beer. I guarantee you.
But also, whoa, don't make promises. I
mean, you do have to sanitize and do all the things you've already been doing this whole time, and you'll get a great beer. You'll get a better beer brewing this way consistently, I think, and you'll find that that you do get a better tasting beer by doing all grain in the end.
You took the words out of my mouth, and I was going to add the beauty of the video is the simplicity of it, because we purposefully used just buckets because everyone should be able to brew regardless of their budget, and that's the most budget friendly of ways to all grain brew.
In that video,
and it doesn't have to be an igloo one. Remember, people have been using mash tun, like normal ice chest for the longest time.
Yeah, we didn't even dumb the video down. We were already there.
Yeah. If anything, you're right. People had to dumb themselves down for us. Yeah, we were already there. That's funny. It is one of my favorite videos, and that was one of my favorite batches. And it's always nice. People like jumping from extract to all grain, because I think even though you can make good beer extract, you can make great beer all grain.
Yeah.
What are you worried about?
What is that?
Oh, I assumed. Oh wait, no, your Polaris is in here.
Yeah.
Is your cousin?
Who knows? I don't know what that is. We may be getting attacked here.
So you're watching the End of the World Happy Hour. We've changed formats a bunch. It was Bad Business Idea Happy Hour. It was Veterinarian Happy Hour, and now it's End of the World. No, Harold. Wrapping up his question. I mean, the whole point of this podcast from episode 1 to now, this is episode 427. Has been to encourage people through beginner to whatever level of homebrewing.
Yeah.
So I would hope if you have a more specific thing, you could go on Homebrew Happy Hour and hit the search thing or whatever. But to sum it up, like, you're already doing probably what you should be doing properly as an extract brewer. Just keep doing that and enjoy the process of recipe creation or more control over the final result of your beer because of what you can do in the mash and sparge now.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Harold and Wes and Seth, because I reread your question. Everybody who submitted one today, final reminder, call it in to 325-305-6107. When I use your voicemail on a future episode, you get yourself a gift card to kegconnection.com. Mr. Burns, let's get another beer.
I've been out of beer for a whole. We don't have a fourth question.
We don't have a.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna keep on drinking. I appreciate your time. We'll see y'all when we get back from Chicago. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.